once again, welcome to AgenaTrader software training questions and answers. We will talk today about the AgenaTrader add-ins, which were published or released with the version 2.0. The first one is the ChartGallery, which basically allows you to show an unlimited amount of time frames in one chart group and have a gallery view. The second one is the CorrelationMatrix. The CorrelationMatrix allows you to show market correlations, and it shows you if markets correlate with each other or not and what is the rate of correlation. The third one is the DynamicScanner. The DynamicScanner basically is an advancement of the regular scanning. So you can set up your regular scanner, different ones, and scan thousands of markets simultaneously. And on top of it, you open the DynamicScanner, and the DynamicScanner can then filter only symbols which have an active signal for you, and it will hide all the signals or do not show all the symbols which do not have any valid symbol. This makes trading and your overview quite easy. The fourth and last one is the TradingJournal Pro. There is already a trading journal in AgenaTrader, and there are advancements with new features, new functionality in the journal, and you can buy it as an add-in and receive the Pro version out of it. A little bit about me. My name is Daniel, and I'm working for AgenaTrader since about 4 years as head of support and education, and for educational purposes, next to the other online media, I'm doing these regular live webinars where you can attend for free, ask questions, and learn new things, new ways how to work with AgenaTrader. Before we start, the disclaimer: everything I'm showing here is meant for teaching, for education purposes. It is never any invitation to trade live on the markets. Trading on the financial markets comes with a high risk, and if you start trading live on these markets, you do this on your own risk. All right, so let's start with AgenaTrader. What we will do in this webinar, I will just go through the different add-ins and open up all the features for you and walk you through the new functionality. Basically, we will start with the ChartGallery. What you can see here already, I prepared something, is this gallery view, this quite very new feature. And I was opening the Dow Jones stocks, the 30 stocks of the Dow Jones. And as you can see, every line here is a different symbol. So I have here the Apple symbol from 1 hour to 1 month, monthly chart. And then it goes down. So what you have here is the scroll bar. So if you can just move here and use it with a left mouse click, or use the mouse scrolling wheel to go down. And as you can see, there are a lot of symbols here. It's 30 symbols basically, and each symbol shows 5 different time frames for you. And basically you can choose whatever amount of time frames you want to see, and you could also load more than 30 symbols. You could load maybe the S&P 500. However, this could be quite CPU intensive and RAM memory intensive. So the limitation here is basically what your computer can compute. And this is basically how it looks. Let me show you 1 or 2 of these additional features of the gallery, and then I will walk you through the opening process of this chart gallery. So one thing which came new with this chart gallery are these buttons here. This is the adding a new chart and removing a chart button. So whenever you click on it, it will just open another chart of the very same symbol and very same time frame, and you can then change the time frame later on, like going back to a 15 minutes time frame or something like that. If you want to remove the chart, you go to the minus button and it will remove it for you. Another very nice thing is the drag and drop allocation of the windows. For this you have to use the maximize minimize chart button. So in this scenario you click the left left mouse button, hold it, press and hold it, and then you can move it. And as you can see, once I move it, I'm receiving a red border here. So what I can do now is I can move it to the right side, and when I do this you can see this light blue background appearing basically here. So this shows me where I can place this chart. So I can place this chart now below this one, so it will be decreased in size on the upper part, or even left or right. So if I do it left or right, nothing changes, of course, because it's already on the left side. If I move it here to the bottom, you have a new allocation, like you have now two smaller charts, the one above and the one below it. And with this drag and drop chart allocations, you can really allocate the charts in a very easy way, very good way, without you having adjusting the size of the windows, just to any position you would like to have it right here. And you can move it down right here, you can move it, back right here. So it's really easy to use for allocating your window. And as you can see, the size allocation is always not fixed, but it is very nicely done for you, so you don't have to worry about that. You can always change it, like here. You can move increase the size of the window, or decrease it, of course, or move it back the way it was. Same counts, of course, for the up and lower stuff. There you would move the complete horizontal line basically, and that's it. So this is mainly how you can change charts in this direction. Where do you find this new chart gallery? You go to Main, New, Chart Container, and have the option of Chart Gallery basically. And it shows you 4 different ways of opening chart. The one I'm showing you right here is this chart single chart gallery for instrument list. This means you can choose an instrument list which has, for example, Dow 30 instruments for the stocks markets, or any other list you might have, and you open this gallery view. And it's a very simple process. When you click on it, you're getting this opening chart window. You're probably already familiar with that. And then you're searching for an instrument list which you want to open. You can also type in something like, let's say S&P. So you have instruments for the S&P 500, and you can open this one. You have to choose an amount of bars you want to load, historical bars or a time period, either one. And then you have to choose your time frames, and you can choose a template. And once you did this, it will open the same view for you. For this, for example, I used this kind of settings. So I had the Dow 30. I'm using 500 bars, and I was just using the default template, which is this one. And then I selected 5 charts, like this, 5 charts, time frames I mean. And with these settings, in the end, I received what you see in the background right here. You can do this with any other instrument list, with other time frames, with another template, with more bars, historical bars, and so on. So very simple, straightforward process. All right. Why I'm not opening another one? Like I said, the chart gallery for instrument list takes quite some CPU usage, and opening 30 symbols in 5 time frames could load for quite some time. That's why I loaded it first, so you don't have to wait for that. So let's go to the other chart containers for the chart gallery. You have here the single chart gallery. The single chart gallery allows you to open one instrument. Let's open the ES Mini future. 500 bars is fine. And I will just really open a few time frames right here, starting from 1 minute and so on. Going to, is there a default? Let's go to none. Remove this one. Week, month. Let's see if this works out. And here we go. And as you can see now, you have opened the S&P 500 from 1 minute to 1 month and can show it simultaneously in one of these chart containers, so you can switch back and forth. So as you can see here, the charts are somehow adjusted in size, but I can do a little bit better, like for example, going on the edges right here at the bottom and moving this one down so you can see it right here. The only thing what you have to see here is that if I move this middle bar now here down, it goes down even further. So you really have to start from the top. Otherwise you have to scroll down with the scroll bar on the right side. So let's move this back up a little bit like this, maybe a little bit more down, and this down, and now I have adjusted these windows. And the same thing, I can again add a new chart, remove a new chart, or allocate these charts somehow differently. If I want to have, let's say, the 1 hour chart, I want to have it right here on the left side. So let's do it once again, slow, slow, slow. Here it goes right here, and it's very easy to use. Or I want to add a new chart, so going here, let's say I want to add, doesn't matter actually, but I can use any custom. So I want to add, let's say, a 45 minutes chart, if it makes sense. So I have a 45 minutes chart here as well. And this is the way you open and create chart containers very easily. Another thing, of course, if you do not know anything about charts, you should educate yourself with the video, The Main Introduction of Chart Containers, which is online on our YouTube channel or online in our Agena space. You can find the videos about main introduction charts, and there you learn how to create templates and load templates, which means you can create different color settings, different candle settings. You can add indicators. You can, everything you can add for the chart via the chart toolbar on the very top can be saved in a template. So you'd only have to do it once and then reuse it for all the templates. And the good way is to create a template for one chart, maybe with the single chart. And once you did this, let me open this one right here to expand it a little bit. You can then save it as default. If you do this, your template, which you created with all your indicators, with all the settings what you'd like to see on the chart, can be saved as default and reopened with any other chart. So it's quite easy to reopen your settings basically. And like I said, this chart template option right here allows you to save and load and save stuff as default for templates basically. You can access this menu also via right click, settings, chart templates, the same thing basically. All right, let's go again, main, new, chart container, chart gallery, list chart gallery. The list chart gallery is charts with a list, and the list itself is also kind of the scanner of the market. So the list chart group includes a scanner with charts, or combines the scanner and the charts. So let's open again the Dow 30, or let's even open the Nasdaq 100, or maybe some future list we can do later on. Again, this one, I have my default stuff, and I'm opening a few time frames, which is quite enough right here. So I think 5, 1, 2, 4. Yeah, let's do 5. All right. And as you can see, again, I have now this time frames. I could increase them by adding some new time frames, but then I have to move it down a little bit. Same thing I have to do here. I have to increase the window size like this, for example. What I could do right here is then, let's say, move this. Sorry, didn't get it. Yes, no. All right, like this, and now I have my 6 different time frames. Or yeah, this one, let's say 15 minutes, 4 hours. Let's adjust this a little bit because I've just 15 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, 1 day, 1 week. I think this was I got wrong. And then I have 1 month as well. And same thing now, 6 time frames. Again, plus minus if you want to add or remove charts, drag and drop system with the minimize maximum or drag and drop button right here. So left mouse click, press and hold, and move it to some location where you can see now this blue background appears, and when you drop it, it goes to this location basically. Let's get it back like this. All right, always think about saving your workspace in the in between, in case you have some problems, whatever. Computers can crack down at one moment, or then you are not losing your work. All right, the next one. Oh, let's also talk a little bit about the scanner on the left side. So you're probably aware of it right here. This is the instrument list of different markets, and when you click through it, you can basically see all the markets are loaded simultaneously for you. It's a very short loading process, as you can see, just a half a second, 1 second, really quickly clicking through. And here, basically, you have the possibility to edit the columns, add some indicators in the scanner, add some conditions, some signals in the scanner, or even add the advanced scanner, which you can do with this, for example, where you can then scan for your trading signals, which I was teaching in another video as well. So once again, the list chart group is always a scanner, which is a list of symbols and the scanning functionality, and has some charts, additional charts. So next one, main new chart gallery, tab chart gallery. And this is very similar. Let's open some futures. For example, this one, I think I created this one myself. Again, I use the default settings, and again, I'm using, like, let's say, a few time frames, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, should be fine. And here we go. The tab chart group also must be opened with an instrument list, and you will have the possibility to change or to switch between symbol at the very bottom right here, and with this tab-based approach. Again, for changing the size of the window, you can go just to the edges of the charts and then adjust the size a little bit to the way you want to have it. All right, like this, for example. If you really like the month in this way and this one smaller, this would be fine. Would be nice. You can also go like this, for example. It's however you like it. You really adjust it the way you want. Plus and minus buttons, all the same thing. If you learned it once, you know all the stuff. If you click through now, left click on this tab, for example, at the very bottom, and then I can use my keyboard, left and right keys, to move through it. One thing which I saw is not adjusted here, this chart adjustments. For this, I have to check if the setting is done. Configuration is called chart. Actually, it's done. So I have to ask our team if we can make changes once and then apply to all it automatically. However, at the moment you have to do it for each one of the charts separately. And what you see here, it's very quickly, and you never see any loading times. Why? Because the tab chart group itself opens and it opens and keeps the chart open and not in the background. So the chart is always up to date when you open it. So it's always ticking, even in the background when you not see it. So you don't have any loading times. In the list chart group, you have this list-based approach, but only the one chart which you have selected is in front, other ones in the background, and the other ones will stop ticking once they're in the background. But as soon as you open it like this, we are requesting the missing delta, the missing data, and then the chart continues to tick. It's just a way to save computing power, to save resources, because this one is also meant for scanning as well. So this is the main difference between those two. Everything else is quite similar. You could even scan with the tab chart group by activating AgenaTrader++, and it will also scan the markets for you, and there will be a signal on the tabs, but it's not as nice as in the list chart group. But even here you can scan in the markets for signals which you created with AgenaTrader++ condition as cord and stuff. All right. That's all about the chart gallery. If you have questions, feel free to ask. We will move on to the next part, which is about the dynamic scanner. So at first, for the dynamic scanner, I have to create analyzer sessions. So I have to create scanner sessions where I scan the markets. And I've already set up the sessions in the background, and you can learn more about it by watching the video tutorial about analyzer sessions, setup is called AgenaTrader++ automated trading and conditions. All right, so I'm adding now a scanner, add analyzer, let's say 15 minutes, and I have some sessions right here. I will just use the standard session, which you all have. And as you can see, it starts searching now for signals. And I can now also check some other stuff. So let's stay with this one. Let me search for, I'm not sure if maybe I have the package. Yeah, it searched for it. So I have different signals here. And the next thing I'm doing now, so I can set up 2 free scanners. I would even propose, but for performance issues, that you create more than one of these list chart groups, because each list chart group can at the moment access one CPU thread. And if you have more than one chart container with a scanner, you can access more of your CPU multi-threading processes. So at the moment I will not do this, but you can set up a couple of scanners, a couple of list chart groups, even just simply open, for example, which we can do also, a watch list. The watch list is basically a scanner only, without any charts. And then a watch list, I can, let's say, add an instrument list, and I can say, let's add the Dow 30. Take a little some time, but then it will load it. Sorry, it was copy. I have to go to this symbol, which is reload. So now, as you can see, very quickly. And here I can also add again 1 hour, maybe some different scans, which I like to see. Let's do some location points, and well, getting some signals, and I can set up as many watch lists and scans as I want in this. And once I did this, the next thing I can do is I can go to main, new chart container, dynamic scanner. And the dynamic scanner, like I said, you have to buy the add-on to enable this feature. Same counts for the chart gallery. Allows me to get again select some chart template. Let me see if I can use, if this one was the default one. Let's just go with it. Yeah, I think this one is another one, but it's not so critical. And as you can see now, you have charts in some view you have set up probably. You have to choose the template, and it will show you the chart view, the colors and the indicators and in conditions and stuff you want to see. On the left side, you have this list chart group, so the DynamicScanner is very similar to the list chart group. And you have here symbols with a signal, with a valid signal. So it's always separated in time frames. 15 minutes we set up and 1 hour we set up, and it will not show me anything else. So like I said here, I have only 2 signals, but many other markets. In this one I have more than 2 signals, but for many of the markets there is no signal, and in the DynamicScanner only valid signals to appear. And another option I have here is this active sessions on the top, and it allows me to say, okay, let's scan for all active sessions, which means all sessions that are actually scanning in the markets which I just set up before. Or I can say, no, I want to have 2, 3, 4 DynamicScanner, and each one searches for another session. So then I can, remove all and say, okay, this one should simply show me this location point all signals which I've set up. All right. And as you can see, I'm only seeing now those 2. Then I see, okay, let's open another DynamicScanner. And let's just go for standard, and it will only show me what the standard session basically is giving me, which was basically this left side column. As you can see, it shows me just that. In this way, you can really set up in the background a couple of scanners and just focus then on a DynamicScanner with your signals only, so you're not distracted by markets which anyway don't have any valid signal for you. And that's pretty much it about the scanner. If a new signal appears, you will have the symbol and the name, so this row in bold letters, and once you click on it, it will be red. So you remove from bold to regular font basically. And well, that's pretty much it. Straightforward, no difficulties here. Let's go to the correlation matrix. You go to main, new, and this time we go here to correlation matrix. So you have these settings right here. Again, you choose an instrument list, and let's say, let's go for Nasdaq 100 again. Or yeah, let's keep it simple. Let's say I want to have 1 day. The correlation window is 100 bars, where we check the last 100 bars if they are correlating, and we are loading, let's say, a 500 bars only with the default template. And very quickly, AgenaTrader now calculated for you what are the market correlations, positive or negative. So we have here on the left side the matrix, which gives you a short preview of the correlation indicator. And you have numbers between 0 and 100 and 0 and minus 100. At the moment, the setting is in a way that starting from plus 60, we show that this is some market correlation, and we color it light green. If it goes higher, like here on 90, it is more dark green. And 100, of course, is the highest number you can reach, which, of course, in this case counts just for the same symbol. And very quickly, you can go now and click on one of these numbers, and it will load a secondary data series and show you the secondary data series as a line chart and an instrument correlation indicator as an oscillator, and this one as an indicator basically, and this one shows you if the market, how high is the market correlation over some time period. And in this scenario, you have most of the time these 2 markets went together. We can watch something else. For example, this one, these 2 charts. and it shows you that very often it correlates, but sometimes there is no found correlation or even negative correlation for these markets. We can also go, for example, to this. This is now Apple, basically. Apple, and what is the second one? Adobe Systems. So Apple and Adobe Systems are basically correlating quite well. Apple and this chart are not quite correlating. Let me find out what's the name for this. Secondary data series would be nice if we see it. So here we go. Alexion from pharmaceuticals. All right, yeah, of course. This is, yeah. All right, so in this scenario, you can see the negative correlation. And here this one has also a negative correlation at the moment, and so on and so forth. So you can really find out which markets work together and which do not. You can change the time frame here. You can increase the calculation window, and you can move to a list based view where you have a list where let's say you can move from show the correlating markets on the top and the negatively correlating markets at the very bottom. Another thing you can do is, for example, by right-clicking here, you can load your setting as a template, chart template, and you can change the properties. And as I already mentioned, with plus or minus 60, we show some correlation with coloring these parts. And you can change and say, okay, I want to see market correlation only when it's more like 80, for example, or less than that. And you can even change the color in which you want to see this. And this one is the color for positive correlation, the latest color, which is 100, and this one the negative. And in the middle you have, for example, white. So it goes from green to white, from white to red, and so on. And you can go from green to black or whatever. So you can really choose the colors you want to see in AgenaTrader. And switch back to the matrix, basically. And that's pretty much it. Some matrix with a chart with primary data series and secondary data series, and an instrument correlation indicator which shows you at one view how often the markets are correlating. Is this always happening or just once in a while? Plus so positive and negative correlations. But this indicator basically is just another presentation on what the matrix is showing in numbers. All right, this is the correlation matrix. Let's move on to the trading journal. Main new trading journal right here. And the trading journal starts empty and shows you the filter. And in the filter you can set up many things like the entry strategy, which can be any strategy you bought or created yourself. Discretionary would mean discretionary trading, so there is no special trading strategy, you're just doing this by yourself. There's no automated mode. Exit reason, your stop or take profits, which kind of brokerage account you used, which kind of instrument type, asset class, the time frame, which direction. So you quite have a lot of filters. You can choose from exit or entry time and choose the time range you want to see your trades in, which I go back, let's say, for 1 year approximately. You have strategy decks. I come to that a little bit later. You can create them yourself, and you can create templates of your filter settings. If you select some filter settings, where at least you should select the time range which you want to see. If you leave everything empty, it will show everything. So let's go to show journal, and it shows you at the first moment all your trades, all your closed trades only, so there's no unrealized open trades. It shows you a profit, or of course a loss, a balance change, and you can inspect your trades. if you right click right here, you could export it to Excel, connect it with a chart and edit some trades. If you click at the header, you could choose some columns, so you could add and remove columns you want to see. And the strategy tag is a new feature which comes with the TradingJournal Pro. Sorry, this I think is already in the regular TradingJournal. Even the rating, but some other stuff I will show later is in the TradingJournal Pro. But this is at the moment still standard TradingJournal. So if you, for example, want to assign some closed trades to some specific sub-strategy you create because you want to analyze these trades in your TradingJournal, you can go, for example, here, I have this test strategy tag, so I can assign it right here. And if I want to add a new tag, I can go to manage and say new tag. You can choose any name you like. Okay, and as you can see, it now was added to the strategy tag window above. And now I can also, for example, go here and assign this new strategy tag. And now I have the possibility to filter via, let's say, test. So it only shows me the trades with all this test strategy tag and what's the balance for here. So in this scenario, I can really say, okay, I don't want to analyze all of my trades, just some trades I choose and then filter them, and then you can walk through the journal. This is very helpful because all the graphs I will show you in a moment, like the performance graph, the summary, trade collections and stuff like that, are now calculated based on these 14 trades only and not on all your trades you made. So the strategy tag is quite useful for analyzing some specific trades. The trade rating is basically something you can also name yourself. We have some pre-settings like too early, too late, good, perfect, for entry reasons, for exit reasons, and for the trade management we have some pre-settings. And once you assign some of these ratings, you're getting these star ratings basically. So you can rate yourself if this was if my entry was good, exit was good, my management was good or bad or average or something like that. So you have some rating which you can see is now applied to this TradingJournal right here. I will show you in a little bit later, because in the settings you can change this trade management and you can just add some different names and say, okay, this test deserves two starts or something like that. And you can really be your own, set up this very customized without a need to change that. All right, let's go back to the journal. Let's just analyze all of my trades. And let's go to the features which come with the TradingJournal Pro. So first of all, we go to our performance graph. This performance graph is in the TradingJournal, in the regular one as well, but it has now a few additional features. One additional feature is use daily chart. So you can base this on a daily chart performance. You can also, if you switch to percentage view, you can now set a benchmark. So percentage view and daily chart, and you can say my performance compared to, let's say we have this here, compared to the DAX index, what's better. And in this scenario, the DAX index performed better than I did. And I have some different possibility, like the ATX, the Nikkei. No, there's no data here, it seems. This one and stuff like that. So this is quite nice here. I have also risk multiples, so I can show how many risks I was earning or losing in this scenario. And one very, very nice stuff, and only in the TradingJournal Pro, is the option to draw on this performance graph, like adding, let's say, a trend line or something like that, where I say, okay, this is my trend, Let's see if I'm still, let's, because I don't want to count from 0. Yeah, let's use this lows right here. And I will extend it to the right. And now you can see actually I'm already reaching, I'm going down on my positive trend line. So I can say, okay, and something is wrong with my strategy probably, so I have to change it and get into plus again, so I could really make an analysis based on my trading performance. Another great feature which comes with the Pro version is adding indicators. You can add any kind of indicator which we have here, so you're quite open to use our standard indicators, self-program indicators, and so on. And you could go and, let's say, to add some exponential moving average. I don't know, let's use 130. And you can see then how this moving average is going to be based on your trading performance. And in this way, you can really analyze your trading performance and include it in your trading management. Let's go to summary. The summary has the key metrics. The key metrics basically show you your net profit, your gross profit, gross loss, profit factor, and so on. I think you're aware of all this information. So it gives you a short and quick overview about your statistics. Then you have best performers. So you have the symbols which perform the best or the worst. Bottom 10 and top 10 basically. Then you have your profit loss trade graphic in a daily view, a weekly view, a monthly view, and a trade view. So it seems I have had a lucky punch right here. You have the performance, the profit and loss time graph. So this is based on some time. So on a Monday, I made most of my profits. On a Wednesday was still good. Tuesday and Thursday, I should probably not trade. And on Fridays, it's also, again, maybe I could trade, but early weekend would be okay too, because I'm not making that much money. So weekday and daytime. And the daytime is quite nice. So between noon and 2 o'clock, I'm making most of my profits. Win-loss graph, so it shows me how many loss trades and win trades I have, how many profit my wins and my losses made. Short long, so as you can see, it's very unbalanced. Most of them are longs, only a few shorts. And my strategy ranking is basically showing me my best and worst strategies. So discretionary, I was good and very bad. And I have some Dow Theory strategies here, some location point strategies and stuff like that. And it really shows me which strategy performed in the best way here. All right, let's go to the trade collection. The trade collection is basically a print or a desktop print, a picture of your chart here, some data, and you can see when you entered and left the market with basically with some information here, and the rating will appear if you, for example, make some ratings in the journal at the very beginning right here. And you can add some commands to this one and just walk through, for example, your pictures. The settings, I already showed it. With this, you can change the way you want to be rated or rate yourself, and that's pretty much it. All right, that's TradingJournal and TradingJournal Pro to filter and analyze your trading performance, and yeah, having some nice features with the standard version, but especially also with the add-in. So just to walk you through, in the add-in you have the risk multiples, the use dating chart with this performance graph. You can now with the add-in, with the Pro version, you can add drawing objects and indicators, which you cannot do with the standard version. You have this summary, which is not there at all in the standard version. So for this summary, you need to have the Pro version. Same counts for the trade collection. The settings, again, is there in the standard version as well. All right, that's about add-ins. Let's sum up and close or finish the webinar. We talked about the chart gallery, where we have a chart gallery view, a chart gallery group with one symbol in many time frames, a list chart gallery with a scanner and charts in many time frames, a depth chart gallery with a list of instruments in many time frames, and a depth-based approach on the very bottom. We had the dynamic, that's basically all four, sorry. This was the chart gallery. Then we had the DynamicScanner, where we can say scan in the background with multiple analyzer sessions and then filter out only the signals and see them. Here are two dynamic scanners, which basically search for your found signals and show it to you without the ones which have no signal. The correlation matrix, where you can load an instrument list, a custom-made instrument list, and compare the positive or negative market correlations. And the TradingJournal, which allows you to analyze your trade statistics. And with the add-on or add-in, you have additional functions like the trading summary, like the drawing objects on the performance graph, like the indicators on the performance graph, and the trade collections. All right, that's pretty much it from my side. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining the webinar. I hope you learned something and are getting interested in our AgenaTrader add-ins. I hope I see you next week again. Next week we have a webinar where we simply ask the customer base to send in some questions, and we will answer that in the webinar. So once again, thanks for watching. Hopefully I see you next time. Goodbye.